story. Hello everyone. So studying abroad truly gives a chance to get to know more of yourself. And unfortunately, one of the things that I found out about myself is I have allergies. So I have pollen allergies. So I apologize if I sneeze in the middle of my presentation. Just so you know, it's not COVID. It's just the pollen season. Okay, to start, I would like to teach you some of Tagalog words. There are over 120 languages in the Philippines. It's an archipelagic country, meaning it is composed of scattered islands. So it is more likely for people to have different language to speak. Um, but today I will teach you the national language, which is Tagalog, and that is the language that I also mainly speak. So for this part, let's call it Tagalog time, and I'm expecting your participations, audience participations. Okay. So for the first word, oh, where should I point it? That's fine. Oh, okay. Okay. So the first word is this one. Mahal, mahal kita. You say it, mahal kita. Okay, now repeat it with me, guys. Mahal kita. One more. Mahal kita. Okay. Now I want you guys to say it to someone, to anyone, to someone beside you or to anyone else. One, two, three, let's say it. Mahal kita. Okay. Now I want you guys to know what is the actual meaning of it. It actually means I love you. Okay. So you just said someone, I love you. Okay, so if you're kind of embarrassed to say it explicitly that you love someone, just tell them, mahal kita. Okay, the next word, okay, fact, hello. The Philippines has been colonized by the Spaniards for a very long time. To be specific, 333 years. So a lot of Filipino words are actually from Spanish. And I think some of you guys are familiar with the first word. It's kumusta. So this phrase, you say it like kumusta, ako si, then say your name. So I'm gonna do it and then I'm gonna expect it from you guys. Kumusta, ako si Jason. Kumusta, ako si Jason. Now it's your turn. Kumusta, ako si. Okay. So whenever you meet someone and you want to introduce them, introduce yourself to them, you can say that, especially to Filipinos, because it means, how are you? I am, then your name. Kumusta is like como estas in Spanish. There are a lot of Spanish words that were just modified to be Tagalog words. And then the last but not the least is maganda ka. You say it, maganda ka. One more time. Maganda ka. Okay. So I want you guys to say this to someone today because it means you're beautiful. So, just take time to appreciate someone's beauty and then tell them, maganda ka. It means you're beautiful. Okay. To formally introduce myself in my country, I am from the Philippines. It took me so much time to introduce myself. But the Philippines is composed of 7,000 islands and it is located in Southeast Asia. So as you can see, there's China, there's Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Australia. And this one is the Pacific Ocean. And when you cross the Pacific Ocean, you will reach the United States. So I am Alberto Jason M. Santos. I am from the top university in the Philippines, University of the Philippines, Baguio, taking a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. That is my flag, by the way. Okay. In this presentation, I would like to show you more glimpse of my country, how I wish I can have more time to show you more, but I just chose 4 things to discuss today: tourist spots, food, festivals, and the Filipinos. So first is the tourist spots. Being an archipelagic and a tropical country, I can say that we are truly blessed with beaches. If you don't have plans yet for this summer, you might consider to try visiting the Philippines. It should play. so the Philippines literally have everything from diving spots, from the coral reefs to surfing spots, everything. So I wanted to show you guys more pictures of it, but I have limited time, so I just chose some of it. This one on the left, this is in Palawan. I've been there, and I believe that these pictures do not justify how beautiful it is in person. This one is in Siargao. I will be there in summer. It's really beautiful there. This one is Boracay. I think you guys are more familiar with this one because this is more famous because it's been a tourist spot for a long time already. And then this one is Cebu. And then if you're not a type of beach bum person, if you don't like beaches, you can go to some of our still nature attractions. Sorry. There you go. So we have like this one, the perfectly cone-shaped Mayon volcano in Albay, and then we have like hundreds of hills. We call it chocolate hills in Bohol because when it rains, it will turn all like a chocolate. So they call it chocolate hills. And then if you're still not that type of tourist, we still have other places for you guys. If you're like a historic type of person, museum type of person, you should go here. This is the um, hanging coffins in Sagada. Those are literally coffins and they have bodies inside. It's part of their culture. And then the other one is Calle Crisologo in Vigan. It's kinda, the architecture is kinda Spanish because it's from them. Okay. The next thing that I am proud of my country is the food. I cannot emphasize it enough how good Filipino foods are. Even some of my fellow international student can attest to it. So why not ask them? Linda and Nara, have you tried any Filipino foods and how was it?
Okay, it was so unexpected speech. Okay, I tried Shanghai and dumpling
Okay.
and the fish rolls.
Fish ball.
The fish bowl, it was so delicious.
Okay, how about you, Linda?
I tried the same. But it was so delicious. We had spent one weekend in a Filipino family and it was very nice. They have hospitality and also the food is so delicious. You must try it.
Thank you. So these are some of the Filipino foods that we have. This is we call this chicken adobo. It's like chicken marinated with soy sauce, and this one is sinigang na baboy. It's composed of pork and vegetable boiled in a clear sour bath, broth rather. And then this one is the one that they're talking about. This is Shanghai. It's like spring roll but Filipino type. And this one we call it lechon. It's a roasted pig. There's an inside joke in the Philippines that when a party has a lechon, this one, we consider the host of that party as rich because having a lechon is kind of expensive in our country. Okay. Festivals, or we call it as fiestas. As I told you, there are a lot of Spanish words that are the same in Tagalog, fiestas. And the Philippines are one of the main reasons travelers visit the country because of the colorful costumes, fun activities, and electrifying festival dances in the Philippines. Travelers can't help but join the party. Okay, so that one is Dinagyang Festival. Excuse me, I told you. Excuse me. So, that was Dinagyang Festival, the religious festival in the Philippines that celebrates the feast of Santo Niño. Santo Niño is a patron saint in the Philippines because the Philippines is a Catholic-dominated country, so we have a lot of patron saints and we celebrate them. This one is Pahiyas Festival, one of the most colorful Philippine festival held in Lucban, Quezon. where tourists can enjoy free food. This one is at the Atihan Festival, one of a kind festival in the Philippines, held in Aklan. As you can see, they have like mini statues of their patron saints. That's Santo Niño, the one that I just mentioned. And then they celebrate it. The last one in here is Ati-Atihan. Oh no, this one is Panagbenga Festival. As you can see, there are flowers. Like all of those props are made of flowers. Because in the Philippines, prior to our colonizations, we didn't have religions. So most of the people, like the farmers, whenever they get good harvest, they thank the nature by celebrating it. Like they thank God by providing nature something, just like this. The last but not the least thing that I would like to talk about is our people. Maybe you don't know, but there are a lot of Filipinos that are famous here in the United States. Redmond Rock, Patrick Starr, Vanessa Hudgens in High School Musical, and Olivia Rodrigo. The Filipinos are the funniest, happiest, and most approachable people you would ever meet. As the tourist will say, you will know that you are already in the Philippines when everybody smiles at you. Literally, they smile at you in the streets, in the shops, in the bus, and it feels really good. There. Those are my fellow Filipinos. By the way, Filipinos and Pinoys are the same meaning. Yeah. Filipinos are generally happy people. We can smile whatever the situation. Our happy-go-lucky nature and positive mindset allow us to bounce back from the wreck of circumstances, from disasters, from wars, and surely from this pandemic. To end my presentation, this is a picture of Filipinos while literally evacuating from a flood. Still, everyone is smiling. Salamat, meaning thank you. Thank you for listening to my presentation and I hope to learn something.